Okay. Hey, anybody. Giving this another try. Hopefully my audio is going today. Right now, we're just watching the last couple minutes. Thought this was going to end up being a boring Monday with Tesla stock, and then, the afternoon happened, and we just shot up from hovering around that 1500 mark, and now we're kicking around 1640. So it's been an interesting day, to say the least. Whether or not it's from actual real news or just everybody's getting hyped for earnings coming up on Wednesday, we'll have to see what happens there. I've been running around doing errands all day and just barely ran home in time to get hopped on here. So let me send out a message, remind everybody. Okay, we'll just throw out a update and see if anybody wants to hang out. Really, like I was saying the other week, I pretty much try to be here for market close most every day, depending on how my errands run. Usually here back home around 2 to 2:30, and try to catch the last 30 minutes to an hour, and just see if we can get any luck and squeeze into some positions and just kind of hang out and see what's going to happen. So right now, I'm not sure what's really going to happen this week, so I'm playing it a little safer, I would say. I got an order in for trying to see if this 1600 level holds. I heard somebody speculate that there could be a lot of margin calls going through today, and that could cause a lot of end-of-day buying to occur. So as you can see here, we'll zoom in a little bit. Most of the candles have been made up from buying volume more than selling volume. So when you get more buyers than sellers, that just causes the price to increase until there's enough sellers to fulfill the demand of the orders coming through. So we'll see how this all goes. Right now, I am planning to if I try to keep doing this, I'm going to get another monitor. Right now I've got my main monitor and a little 34-inch, really widescreen monitor set up over here to the side. And I think with the way my screens are so large, I am condensing what I'm seeing down too much when it's going over and actually coming out live. So I'm going to do some research, find the best actual computer screen size, probably something like a 27-inch, but I don't know. I just figured I'm usually always here seeing what happens for the last bit of the market, so why not hop on, give anybody a chance to have a place to come talk about news. We had the Model Y information come out last week, and there's more stuff happening here. Seems like Tesla's always got something going on, so definitely makes it interesting to keep an eye on. let's actually take a look at the option chain and see what's moving. I like to take a look at the time and sales that TD gives. They'll show the biggest contracts that have gone through for a day. So right now somebody's $990 puts. I would almost bet that is somebody selling just to collect income, because that's a pretty good chunk, and they're holding confidence that Tesla will stay above 990 by September 18th, and unless there's just a complete fail on the earnings here in a couple of days. Now, yeah, it's Monday, earnings coming on Tuesday, or Wednesday, excuse me, earnings on Wednesday, but unless they completely fail that, which even if they do, I think 1,000 is going to hold pretty strong for at least a while, and then there's somebody planning on it hitting 2,000 by the end of this week, so that is somebody I'd almost bet buying. And I don't know, I usually like to look at that, get an idea of what the biggest things have gone through for the day, and then also take a look at the statistics and see how many calls overall, how many puts, and I like to try and sell the puts. So sell a put, buy one underneath it to protect in case I've been doing pretty good at the beginning of the year, and then gradually stepping up my contract size from 2, 1, 2, then I go 3 and 5, then get a couple wins in, then go up to 7, and then the week I had gone up to 10 contracts last week of February. Thursday come along and Corona just destroyed the market, and I could not roll out of my position, and that hurt bad, but almost dug back out of that little hole. So it's fun to try and get going, and right now I'm not doing enough on here to really justify doing it full time, so pretty much Monday's my only day to really focus on this and see what's happening. So I try to either set up a play and just play it on Monday, get in and get out by the end of the day, or if I see something that's gonna last through the week, I'll try to make a trade where I would get a little less money, but it's further away from the current stock price, so better chance of winning, but hold on to it longer in the week. So last week I actually got filled on Tuesday, sold the 1480 and bought the 1470. Ended up selling that for $530 per contract, but I only did 3 since I knew my work was going to be really busy and I wouldn't have time to monitor it during the day. So got filled on 3 contracts at $530 a piece, and then it kept holding above 1480 all week, and just hovering. Last week was kind of boring after Monday, but just kept hovering around, and Friday ended up buying them back just to take all the risk off for 5 cents. So that was my best trade so far, actually. So I got to sell something on Tuesday for $530, and then I bought it back on Friday for $5. So multiply that times 3. I had a pretty good week last week for me. So I know there's plenty of other people that do much bigger, but for what I do, it's come along pretty well. So, but what I like to do, look at these, and like this morning, 60% probability out of the money just means currently, and you can see these numbers changing all the time, but let's see, shrink me down a little bit here. So I like to look at about 60% chance out of the money. And what that usually does, gives a decent enough chance of getting filled, and also getting filled at a decent price. And then, more of a chance of it not dropping down to that price and getting filled. Like this morning, 60% was about 1460, I believe, when I was looking at it earlier, and now 60%'s gone all the way up to 1530. So, if I'd have been on it a little better this morning, I probably should have played that 1500 mark and tried to get filled there. So right now I've got an order in where I'm trying to sell the 1600 and buy the 1590, and I've got it in at 550, which is overpriced. So if there's like a sudden drop in volatility and pricing gets out of whack, I should get filled at least 2 to 3 out of the 5 contracts I'm working on. So the idea is tomorrow or Wednesday morning, hopefully, with it being an earnings week and you never knowing exactly what's going to happen, the idea is if I do get filled, I would try to close out of it. I usually shoot for, if I got 5 contracts, 20 to 30 cents, which is fairly easy to do when you're trading Tesla. But the idea is buy it back the next day or 2 days later, just later in the week. I've even done it the same day, sell in the morning for, if I'm playing a $5 wide strike, try to sell around 220 to 250, and then buy it back later in the day for anywhere $1.70. Try to make a 30 to 50 cent spread. So each contract times 100. So I think $30 to $50 a piece. If I got 5 contracts, then $200-300, and it's doable. Mostly it's just about watching, timing, and paying attention to the same thing over and over, and seeing what happens as it goes. And once you learn kind of where everything lays out, it starts to make a little more sense. So like I said, I'm still tinkering with settings and stuff on here, so I'll keep moving things around as I think I need to make some adjustments. But let's see, maybe turn up my volume a little bit. So if anybody was going to hang out today, so it's an exciting day. I imagine most people aren't coming out to jump on a random dude's live stream. So let me check messages, make sure nothing's happening. Oh man, someday I need to show everybody how I set my phone up. So if I didn't have my phone to put reminders in for every couple of minutes, then that would be, I'd lose my mind every day. So I'm always jumping from one thing to another, and having reminders set in your phone, that can save the day. Looks like Trump's throwing out tweets with his him actually wearing a mask, so that's good. Speaking of masks, I'm starting to get our city implemented mandatory mask policy Tuesday night going into Wednesday morning. So I'm starting to get I'm calling it the mask beard. See if you can see that, getting a little line coming here from whenever I have to go into stores and covering up. all that pressure. Starting to get a line cut through. So, fun times. I think we'll get through this stuff. Everybody's gonna get reset this year. We'll come out, have a new normal, and get back to doing things as best we can. You know, personally, I don't have a problem with the mask things. I think whether or not it works 100% effectively or not, I mean, to me, it makes sense, you know. Do what you can to protect yourself and other people around you. I mean, you just never know what somebody else has been through. So, you know, you just don't know where they've been even, you know. I was out, had to make 4 stops before I could get on and do this here today, and I can smell on my hands the hand sanitizer I kept spraying after every time I went in somewhere. It's got pretty interesting here. Small town, Southwest Oklahoma. The most frustrating part is we got a lot of people that don't have a larger, more like global outlook. So a lot of people around here just see that there's not a big, flare up of the corona stuff happening here in our local town, but everything that gets to us comes from farther away, and you got to take that stuff into account. So it's frustrating being down here where day-to-day life is mostly unaffected, but when you need something like supplies, you go on Amazon, anywhere you're going to go shopping, and it's hard to get anything because larger cities are much more affected. And just being aware of taking a broader outlook and thinking about more than just your own little world, it helps you, at least it helps me, get through all this stuff. Trying to imagine what it's like for people in bigger cities where they don't have a choice but to be crammed, packed together. Have a bit of a concept of how other people are having to live their lives, and when I do that, it makes it easier for me to get through mine. So it looks like we are going to get a little bit of a push here at the end of the day. So it looks like 1650 is going to be the high for the day. We're going to push up to it. It's going to be an interesting. What do we got? 7 minutes left now. There's the countdown clock right there. 14:53. Actually 2:53 for me. I'm in Central Time Zone, so I'm an hour behind the actual market time. But I know it closes there, and we're in good shape. So let's zoom out a little bit. Look at the whole day. Wow. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be deleting a lot of these alerts. I don't think we're gonna drop that far anytime soon. So I'll have to clean up my chart a bit. But yep, I was watching this all happening. I was like, we're gonna fizzle out here. And low volume all morning. Just terrible. And then crazy times happen. Volume jumped up and price just started running. Man. Oh. And I totally missed that one. I was getting ready to go run all my errands and oops. So downside of the market, you can't be there for every single thing. Once I finally learned that, I started doing a lot better. When I first got into trying to, learn about the market and start actually taking trades, I was trying to learn everything out there. Like scanners are up, I'm running trying to find the hot stocks of the day, trying to get in on every single little play, trying to learn stocks, trying to learn options, trying to, buy options and have them finish, profitable instead of expiring worthless. So, needless to say, I overextended myself trying to learn everything. I probably would have done better financially if I'd just focused on one thing, but starting about a year ago now, I guess it'd be almost a year and a half ago now, I kind of got into Tesla and really just started paying attention to it for just the stock, because it always has a pretty impressive range. Like this right here tells you the stock's average true range, I think's over the last 7 or 14 days, $95.55. That much movement in one day is its average. Today it's moved $162 from its lowest point to its highest point. So that is huge range. And to make short-term gains in the market, you want something that is going to be moving around a lot. And Tesla's pretty consistently always moving around. It'll have a few boring days here and there, but it is almost always going to bounce around and give you opportunity. But learning how to spot the opportunity and how to make the right kind of trade on it, that is the other tricky part. I started trying to predict when it would come down and then buy a call, and next thing I know, it expires worthless. So did that for a couple weeks, figured out that that's really not going to work for me. The way that I have to trade, I really can only watch the market on Mondays, and then the rest of the week I'm too busy at work to really focus on it. That's why I have so many alerts set, because these alerts go off and I see them on my phone, and I'm always going to know what's happening. So once I learned that you got more of a chance if you sell an option and then buy it back later after the time decay, theta eats away at the price of it, and you can buy it for considerably cheaper later in the week. Or if you're selling a couple weeks out, sell 2 or 3 weeks out, buy it back the last week, and it's a lot easier on options to sell high and then buy back low, as opposed to trying to buy low and get enough price movement in the direction you need it to be, plus enough volatility to overcome the inflated options prices that are on Tesla naturally, just because it is so volatile. So there are always pricier options than like GM, Ford, all the other less impressive stocks. So and let's take a look at Nikola, just because it's been a bit of a turd all day. Oh wow. So it has had a just abysmally boring day. Wow. Pretty much you can tell by this, it is just following that midline of its standard deviation. This is a dead stock, at least today. We'll see if anything else happens. That first minute of open had 1.137 million shares pushed through in 1 minute on the open, and then it dropped down several hundred thousand. But just the fact that it is just piddling around this $38 range all day, wow, that's just pitiful. And then something like this, now that gives you some opportunity to make some plays. So hey, we'll see how the day ends. We got about 20 seconds left right now. So what do you think? I'm betting we close at about 16:44 ish. or will be about 1638. We'll see. We'll see. One of those two. Total just winging it guess right there. And we're done. So, thanks for stopping by. I think I'm going to go ahead and put an end to this day. I've got a few other errands I got to run. When I was out driving, getting my first couple of errands done, my old truck started to make some weird noises. So I'm going to go see if the tire guy can take a look at it and figure out what is going on with my truck. So it's being a little weird. Main reason I'm following Tesla, I really want to get that Cybertruck. So I'm hoping on Wednesday, fingers crossed, we're going to find out. Are we going to get Gigafactory for Cybertrucks in Austin, Texas, or right up the road here in Tulsa, Oklahoma? So I'm going to put my bet out again. I'm pretty sure the Cybertruck factory and the Y for the East Coast factory is going to end up being in Austin. I really think it's a better fit there. But I'm hoping that Tulsa can at least maybe get the semi factory, because that Tesla still has to make that, you know. So we'll see how they go. Either way, I'm going to miss it all. Work's going to be crazy this week, as usual, I'm sure. So I'll be sure to pop on and check all the news later today. So I was pretty close, 1643. So we'll see how we do. Anyways, thanks for stopping by. If you checked out this video, if you do find this later in the week, check back next Monday. I'm going to shoot for about the last 30 minutes of Market Open on Mondays, and try to start just doing this on a regular basis, and give us a place to watch the stock live, chat with a couple other people, and talk about any news that came up. So there's always some news that happens over the weekend, and we can come here and talk about it. So thank you anybody for stopping by, and we'll see y'all on the next one.